session. I have item 8, and I am withdrawing that. Councilor Cobb.
I'm covered. Good day, everyone.
We had a fashion emergency for a moment.
Blessings to everyone.
I love it.
Okay, I have items 9 through 18, and 11 is a waiver.
He's not gonna be here today.
She's not? Is anybody here to represent?
Nope.
Do we have any questions? Anybody? Item 9, does anyone have any questions on authorizing the issuance and sale of bonds? I don't think we had a question last time. Item 10.
I just have a question about number 17.
We're not there yet, Counselor.
I was just saying before we get there.
Let me know. Okay, no questions on item 10 or 11? Anybody have any questions on item 12? No, okay, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, Mayor.
That'll be me. So with the deer meat, has it been tested? This is, to me, that's kind of disturbing to be given. I don't know. Do you have any insight?
No, we contract through USDA with a qualified supplier in Marsh Mill Ranch who handles products like this all the time and is responsible for any food safety issues. So I've never had a concern about, with USDA's involvement about food safety issues with Marsh Mill.
So it is good meat?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Because, Mr. Law, I actually spoke to Julie. She called me Friday.
Julie.
After I asked the question. She called the FDA and she called the health department, and she said they just assume the meat is okay. There is no testing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how far that goes.
Well, we can loop back with USDA to check on the practices of this supplier.
So I guess to push that a little further, Greg. So when they get the deer, where does it go? After, does it go straight to the?
I don't know the chain of custody, Counselor.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, because that may answer the question we are asking. You know, as to what process it takes once it has been.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, could you get that for us?
We'll look into that. Yep.
Counselor?
It's going to be held. Okay. My apologies, 13 and 14 is going to be held. I have item 18. I think we're all set. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Counselor Green?
Thank you, Madam President. Item
12 and 14.
Item 19 is being withdrawn. Items 20 and 20A will be discussed in executive session. Item 21, 22, 23, and 24 are all ready, unless there's any questions from my colleagues. Thank you.
Counselor Gathers?
Thank you, Madam President. I have items 25 to 28, and I do believe I'm holding, we're good for 25 and 26, Madam Clerk. They're being held. We're going to hold 25 and 26. 27, any questions on 27?
Are you putting up for a vote, or what are you going to do?
If you have any questions, otherwise, did the councilors, were they able to receive and look over the email that was sent out? If not, we can hold this.
I have printed copies of the email as well that has answers related to the survey that Councilor Hogan had asked about, what the route map looks like, what the vehicle ownership looks like, the accessibility issue that came up, what the budget is, and some information about providing the service in-house and the challenges that we would have with that.
One question I had,
Sure.
who put together the survey? Was it in-house here at the City Hall, or was it Laz?
It was a partnership between us and Laz. Laz was the one that actually sent it out, but they had sent us the questions.
So you approved the questions after they put them together?
Correct.
Proposed them? Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I didn't check my email this morning, but so do you have paper?
I'll take it.
I got it.
So just to recap again, the survey was sent to 100 employees.
No, it was sent to all employees in City Hall and City Hall Commons.
What's the total number of that employee base?
I'd say probably in the 250, 300 range,
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
think.
So 58 responded, and 4 of them were no, not
Correct.
interested. And of that, I was having a hard time understanding, the first question was, if you currently park at Washington, I don't have the paperwork in front of me, but if you currently park at Washington's parking garage, would you take the shuttle? So 54 said yes. And then it said that if you're not currently parking there, would you consider parking there if there was a shuttle? And then there were 48 or whatever it was respondents. So, yeah, I just, that was a small number compared to the 250 employees that we have, so.
I mean, I think a 10% response rate is usually, pretty good, so we did a little bit better than that. But I agree, I mean, it would have been nice to have more responses. We didn't, we did it towards the end of the year. We didn't make a heavy push to try and pressure people to answer it, but, given that there are approximately 100 people parking down there, we thought 58 was pretty good response.
So we're basing this whole purchase and proposal on 54 employees taking the shuttle.
No, I mean, there are employees also at the PSB that were not included in this survey because we only surveyed City Hall and City Hall Commons. There might also be people who didn't respond, people who pay to park right now that would utilize this service and save themselves some money. There could be people that park at Washington that didn't take the survey for one reason or another. So, we don't know the universe of people that will take the shuttle. We won't know that until we put it into place.
So do we think we should survey better and get a better understanding of those 250? Because if you're buying a 10 to 15 passenger van to transport 250 employees daily.
Well, I think, we are creating a walkable city. I'm sure some people are going to walk. Some people are not going to decide to do that. I mean, we're not going to know the demand of the shuttle until we get it into place. And it's not as it's just one run and you either catch the shuttle or you don't. It would be a continuous shuttle because people in City Hall and City Hall Commons and the PSB arrive at work at different times. So it's not as if everybody reports to work at 8:30.
Right, they said they arrived at 7, 8, 9, and some after 10.
And so we would just do a continuous loop until, that we reach the time where, the hours that we agree upon, whether it's 7 to 10 or 7:30 to 10:30, at 10:30 you catch the last shuttle and that's it. But I mean, it would just be a continuous loop.
So is there a hard start time for employees or is there a range? So if 7 o'clock, is that you have to be there by 7, so parkers would have to get there at 6:30 in order to get in line?
It's possible. I mean, there are certain offices, where hours are more flexible. There are offices where the hours are more set. There are ones where, I know for City Line, the hours are staggered, so each employee is coming at a different time so we can make sure we have coverage throughout the day. So, I mean, the garage will be available for folks that want to get there early.
Okay, I'll stop asking questions.
What's the estimate of how the timetables will work? So like, how long does it take to go there and come back? Do we know?
I would say 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes for the full loop.
Corey,
Counselor.
so with this, proposal, do you really think a 12-passenger van is going to work? Have we looked at something bigger or possibly the trolley or something like that? Because honestly, getting in a 12-passenger van, first of all, is not that easy. And it could be difficult. And a 12-passenger van really do not fit 12 people.
So, following up on Councilor Schultz's question about what the actual vehicle itself will look like, it's going to look more like the upstate shuttle that exists, which is like a small, it's basically like a small bus, but it doesn't require a CDL. We made that clear to Laz. We want to make sure we had a vehicle that it doesn't require a CDL, but there's wheelchair accessibility on the vehicle, and so accessibility is an issue, so it's not in my head, and probably when I said 14-passenger van, I'm thinking of like the vans that I know when, church outings, you go in those 14-passenger vans, those are tough to get in. This is really more of akin to what the upstate shuttle looks like.
Did we ever think about making this a position here at City?
We certainly could. I mean, I think it's before we make the investment of, hiring somebody, we wanted to see if it works, but there's no reason why at the end of this agreement with Laz, we'll own the vehicle and we say, look, we've done this and we think we'd want to keep it in-house. So there's, and again, all of that would come before the council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Corey, it seemed to me like the most time that this would be useful is in winter, because based on what I'm reading and what I'm hearing is that in winter time it becomes very dangerous in terms of ice and everything else, right? So it would be most useful during winter time, right? So instead of making it a year, have we thought about just trying it for the winter to see where it goes? Because I assume during summertime, the number that we have, the small number that we have would reduce because other people would want to take advantage of the weather. So,
Yeah, I mean, so we did, Counselor, to say, what if we just tried it during the winter? I think the issue is the investment that would need to be made for the vehicle. And so if you're purchasing the vehicle, you're purchasing the vehicle and you're going to have it. It certainly doesn't exclude, though, if, a year or 18 months from now, we've got the shuttle underway. During the winter, it's heavily used. During the winter, it's not. That vehicle is ours to use for however we would like to use it. So we can certainly, maybe maybe parks can use it for senior trips or, to try and work with some of our senior centers. I mean, it'll be our vehicle. It's not something similar to our fleet right now. We don't have anything in our fleet that looks like this. And so I think there will be a lot of uses for the vehicle if it turns out that there's not really good use for it year round. But I think we'd like to try that first.
and
Corey, not to interrupt you, Counselor, but I just want to get this straight. So you say Laz is going to be purchasing the vehicle.
Yes.
So it's going to be their vehicle.
They're purchasing it on our behalf. It's just like they purchase windows in our garages, or they purchase.
Like me purchasing a car for Joe Hogan or something, right? I mean, it's that type of thing.
I mean, but, there'll be a legal document that says this is our vehicle that you're buying on our behalf, but it's for our use, and so if we want it, then we
They
will.
hold a certificate of title.
They will,
They'll
yes.
get the insurance.
Yes. Yeah, but we're paying for it, and
We're
then,
giving them the money to buy it.
and then at the end of the agreement, if we say, you know what, we want to turn the title over to us, then we take title. If we say, you know what, having all of that rest with Laz, then we'll leave it with them. But they're buying it on our behalf. They bought the revenue control equipment on our behalf. I mean, they make a lot of purchases on our behalf.
But we're also paying $42,000 for a LAS staff person to drive that.
So that is the budgeted amount, but they will only give us the invoices as they come in to an amount that we agree to. So it's not as if we're writing them a check for $42,000 and say, go hire somebody. We'll figure out the hours and what their pay would be, and then as those invoices come in, we will pay them as they come in. So $42,000, we could come in under budget because, as it turns out, because we got a late start or whatever it is, the $42,000 is the budgeted amount, but it doesn't mean that that's what we're going to spend. And again, it's a different arrangement in that we don't write them a $100,000 check and say, go operate a shuttle for us. They will send us invoices. We have bi-weekly check-in meetings with Laz on operations. We have monthly financial meetings with them, so they don't make any purchases without our say-so.
Corey, and who's responsible for keeping track of the usage of this senior transportation?
So, I mean, I think we would work something out with Les where they would, whether it's their driver or, to come up with a way for them to keep track of what the usage looks like. Sure, absolutely. We could find, it's really, those early hours are really where we need to shift more of our focus. And so, and that's the flexibility that we have in this arrangement is that, we can shift the hours to however we'd like it to be.
So you're holding them responsible for
Yes. Yes.
so just to get back to my train of thought a little bit, Corey, I'm wondering if it would make sense rather than making a capital investment at a pilot level. Have we looked at maybe because we want to see how this works out, right? So I'm wondering if it makes sense to, rather than making this investment into a van, we've been looking at a community organization to do it for 3 months to see where it goes, or 4 months. community organization, because I know organization in our community that do transportation for business. And rather than city investing this much money, and maybe, you know, because I'm saying this, we by the end of 4 months, we realize that this is something we don't need, right? And then we have just bought a van that we could use, but we didn't really need it to use it. So have we looked at maybe inviting community organization to do a pilot for the next 4 months, and then figure out if this is something we really need or not, rather than going to that route?
I think that's a different solution than what we're considering. We have an operation with LAS. LAS already provides this service in other municipalities. And to your point, Counselor, yes, if we were to decide, you know, that we no longer want to use this vehicle as a shuttle, although we don't own a vehicle like that now, I think that would really be a benefit to expand services that we provide. Right now, I don't know that we have, other than an uncomfortable 14-passenger van, a way to take seniors, to work with our senior centers or work with some of our youth to get them, other than a school bus, is there a way to take a smaller group of people outside of a 12-passenger van? Again, like, this would be a more accessible vehicle, which I think opens up opportunities, particularly in the senior population, that we could repurpose this for another idea. But, you know, and again, the pricing, you know, we've done this in cooperation with Rich DeVesti. The pricing is competitive. We really feel like this is the solution that we'd like to pursue at this time, given our previous relationship with LAS, given that they've provided this in other communities.
And I'm suggesting that because, and I'll be quiet. I'm suggesting that because I see that having an organization already with infrastructure in place, it would make more sense to go to that route. I would think.
I mean, I would counter that LAS is also already in place. They have employees here. They run all 5 of our garages. So I believe that infrastructure, similar to a community organization, does exist with LAS.
Any other further questions? I'm ready for them.
Thank you.
Item number 28.
All set. Thank you. Counselor Hogan.
Thank you, President Hudson. I have items 29, 30, and 31. 30 and 31 are ready. 29, we're going to go into executive session before we make a decision whether to put it up for a vote today.
Counselor Majuk.
Thank you, Madam President. I have item 32 to 34. Item 32, 33 are ready. And no, the 32 I had received from Tony Borelli, a report. Is that 33?
No, it's
Oh,
33.
33, I'm sorry. I have received a report. Anybody need to see that? I can send it, but I saw it. It's great. Thank you, Tony, for sending it our way. Also, it's in the budget from early on during the year. Other than that, all my items are ready. Madam President, thank you.
Thank you.
Madam President, if I may, can we actually take 27 to executive session as well? Oh, really? Okay, I disregard.
All righty, we have, this is under, the supplemental is under Parks. Counselor Caldwell. It's in the supplement.
It's a very nice your name on there.
I know, that's why I was trying to, I was like,
Who is it?
there's no name.
This is what this is for. Illustrious.
Mitchum.
I feel like I'm in high school copying.
Thank you, Counselor Hogan. This is the waiver. Excuse me, my voice is on today. Is Julie? Oh, so is anybody here from? No one's here from Parks.
I think this is a waiver about that.
Yeah, but I think Julie wanted. She said she wanted to say
Yeah,
something.
Julie had texted me this morning, and I think she had notified that she wasn't going to be able to make the meeting today. So if there's
Okay,
anything
but-
I can do to help.
No, I don't think we have any questions,
Okay.
but this is item 35 and item 36 regarding Meacham Ice Rink to rename it. Does anyone have any questions?
I I'd just like to thank Councilor Caldwell for making this concession as far as the waiver goes, so, thank you.
Yeah, and Counselor, you know, Mr. Dunn has been really a great person in the community, and if we can do this little thing for his family, that's great. Thank you for putting it on.
I agree. Thank you, councilors. We're all set, Madam President.
Thank you. I need a motion to adjourn the executive session.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
All righty, see you in executive session.